The year 2020 was a strange year. After months of lockdown and many cancelled flights, we finally managed to get out of London. It was the only trip we were able to take that year, and we chose Italy, as it was one of the last remaining open travel corridors. We decided to go on a road trip starting in Turin, driving down south and going around the Bud. We hope you'll enjoy our journey, just like we did. So we made it. It looks like we have escaped.
Woohoo! Heaven!
Going to Turin, we just collected our car, and sun is shining. Apparently it was a thunderstorm in the morning. We arrived at the perfect time, and we have fuel, we have a car, and we have a map. So we're officially on holiday. Now we are driving towards Turin, only 25 minutes from the airport. You can see mountains in front of you and a bit of an industrial estate, factories. Quite peaceful, not many cars on the road, not many people today. There was very few people at the airport as well. We're the only one on holiday. Turin is the fourth largest city in Italy, only behind Naples, Milan and Rome, with a population of 1.8 million people. It is an important business and cultural center of northern Italy, in the Piedmont region. The city is located on the western bank of the Po River, with the Alps to the west and the north. Turin was the first capital of the Kingdom of Italy from 1861 to 1864. It was later changed to Florence in 1865 and Rome in 1871. In Italian, Torino means a little bull. Turin is one of Italy's most important industrial and cultural centers. It gained a lot of attraction in 2006 when it hosted the 20th Winter Olympic Games. So we're in Turin. We found some parking. We realized that we don't have to pay for parking today. It's Sunday, so it's great. It's a really nice street actually here.
How are you feeling in Turin?
I'm feeling Turinian. Terrific.
Do you think I packed well for 15 days? My two little bags.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I feel excited. I feel excited, like that we're on holidays and that we're going to see everything. And the weather's nice. And the Tanya's here is so funny. I feel excited.
Look at the prices.
Yeah.
So far we've walked for about 20 minutes in Turin, and we went to see a river. We are by the theater, and it's interesting because the theater is closed, but the opera is playing. Very Italian thing to do. Turin is known for its Renaissance, Baroque, Rococo, Neoclassical and Art Nouveau architecture. There are many beautiful and historic buildings, including the Royal Palace of Turin, the Mole Antonelliana and Palazzo Carignano. We found a place for lunch with a stunning view in the background. Inside the buildings you still have to wear a mask. But outside people are not really wearing them. Interesting thing as well, when you want to wash your hands. So I ordered some anchovies, white wine, and you got
zucchini flowers.
Turin has a lot to offer for the enthusiast of rich cuisine. The slow food movement was initiated in the neighboring town called Bra. The Piedmont region of Italy is home to white truffle, one of the rarest and most expensive ingredients in the world. One of the local snacks that originated here is called grassini, breadsticks served in almost every restaurant in Italy. Turin is also a birthplace of solid chocolate, produced here since 1560, even before it was known in Switzerland. It is also here where a popular aperitif, vermouth, was invented by Benedetto Carpano in 1786. The city also plays a part in the automotive industry, as it is home to the headquarters of Fiat. The abundance of places where people can spend time and many activities give it a friendly and welcoming feel. We have decided to do a round trip of Italy. Everything else was cancelled. So we flew to Turin this morning. We met some friends, and now we're going to check into the hotel, and then we're going for some food, and tomorrow we are going down south to Genoa. We're going to check in now, refresh, and then we're going for dinner. We met Nelly's friend at the airport. She invited us for dinner at their restaurant, where we met her whole family. But before that, we wanted to refresh and change. We drove back to our apartment to do that. Our hotel was located 30 minutes drive west towards the Alps. When we came back to the city, the weather changed rather drastically. So this is what's going on right now. When we came back from dinner, it was almost midnight. The air was fresh after the rain. It was still quite bright because of the full moon. We were looking forward to what the next day would bring. The next morning, the weather was very pleasant. We decided to go for a run to deserve our breakfast. Those Italian hills almost killed me. This is our breakfast.
What do you think this is? This is amazing.
This is a new level of
Does that have... That's a
underneath. Good one.
This is so
Our view. It's the second day of our trip. We are leaving Turin and we're going down south to Genoa. We're in a beautiful place, beautiful B&B. It was only 50 euros per night, including breakfast, which was an amazing value. We left the beautiful villa we were staying in, and for quite a while we admired the views of the Alps on our way to the next destination, Genoa. We made a quick stop at the shop to buy some groceries. Buying local foods in the supermarket is one of my favorite things to do on holiday. We drove to Basilica of Superga, Baroque church known for its fantastic views. We're on the mountain in the area called Superga. And there is a Basilica of Superga, very impressive building. And behind there, you see the whole panorama of Turin. The next stop on our journey was Genoa, the birthplace of Christopher Columbus and Niccolò Paganini, famous violinists, whose music is still played and celebrated today. It takes 2 hours by car to get there. The road from Turin to Genoa is a scenic and picturesque route that takes you through the beautiful landscape of northern Italy. The road covers a distance of approximately 150 kilometers and can be traveled by car, bus or a train. As you approach Genoa, the landscape becomes more rugged, with the road winding through mountainous terrain and steep cliffs overlooking the Ligurian Sea. The final stretch of the road passes through the city center of Genoa, with stunning views of the harbor and the city's historic buildings. We just arrived in Genoa and we just checked into the B&B. It's a lovely place with a balcony. We can overlook the city. You can see the mountains in the back. We're gonna walk to the port and see the beach. So we're going to the beach, but before we need a snack. So we have some wine or some cheese.
keto.
Yeah. So we're outside the house where Christopher Columbus was born.
Born?
This is it.
So was he born here?
Born, yeah. Born and everything.
What did they say? Allegedly.
Genoa is the largest medieval city center in Europe, with numerous narrow streets, hidden squares, and grand palaces. It has a long history as an important maritime center and was one of the most powerful maritime republics in Italy during the Middle Ages. Its port is still one of the busiest in the Mediterranean.
Attenzione, la prossima corsa
Where?
faremo una gara di Formula 1.
The beach was windy and we didn't spend much time there. We walked back to see the triumphal arch on Piazza della Vittoria and went to check out the local food market. Genoa is known for its delicious pesto sauce made with fresh basil, pine nuts, garlic, parmesan cheese and olive oil. It's a staple of Ligurian cuisine and can be found in many local restaurants. We were very lucky again. We just came back and now it's just lashing rain. Luckily, before the evening started, the rain has stopped. There's a little bit of life in Genoa at night, but I have to say it's 10 p.m. It's quiet. People eating in restaurants, but otherwise, not much is happening. The best way to end the day was to drink Italian wine and relax. Day 3, morning, we are eating our little breakfast before we go. Our day started with paying parking tickets.
Yes, job done.
Because we slept too long.
It's good rest.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah, we have 15
It was
minutes
like-
for a nap.
It was €1 per 1 minute sleep. Worth it. Genoa has many landmarks worth seeing, but we only had time for a short walk around town. Okay, so we found something which is called Casa di Colombo, which is the house of Christopher Columbus. But it's not an actual story, it's not an actual truth. This house is being completely rebuilt. It was demolished during one of the wars, and it was bombed and it was completely destroyed.
Really?
And they've rebuilt it to make it look like his house. Shortly after, we had to leave Genoa behind and head towards our next destination, Monelia, a charming coastal town located in the Liguria region of Italy, along the Italian Riviera. It is situated between the Cinque Terre National Park and Portofino, making it an ideal base for exploring the surrounding area. One of the many attractions of Monelia are its beautiful beaches, which are surrounded by rugged cliffs and clear blue waters. We just arrived to the little town of Monelia. We got a parking just outside the beach. Apart from its beaches, Monelia has also a historic center with narrow alleys, charming squares and colorful buildings. The town has a relaxed and laid-back atmosphere, making it a perfect destination for those looking to escape the crowds and enjoy some peace. There are plenty of cafes, restaurants and bars in the town, serving delicious Ligurian cuisine, including fresh seafood, pesto and focaccia. We drove through one of the longest tunnels ever to eat lunch at Trattoria Pagliatini, where we ate delicious ravioli and fish. But the most important reason why we chose this destination was its proximity to Cinque Terre. Our B&B was called Casa di Bollo, and it was clean and lovely, but nothing could beat the view from the terrace. It was just stunning. After a quick refreshment, we drove back to the beach, as it was still very hot. Our apartment was located 11 minutes drive north of the beach, and we loved driving the narrow mountain roads, admiring the view. Are you happy we're on the beach?
Yeah, it's nice.
So that's your favorite place in the world?
Yeah. Live in Italy. Whenever you leave.
I usually take every opportunity to jump into the sea whenever I can. I love swimming. Nelly not so much, but she was brave enough to try. The town has two main beaches, both of which are popular with locals and visitors alike. The first beach is located in the center of the town, and it's easily accessible from the main promenade. The second beach is located on the other side of a small hill and offers stunning views of the surrounding hills and a coastline. The town is home to several historic churches, including the Church of San Giorgio, which dates back to the 12th century and features beautiful frescoes and artwork. Monelia is also a great place for outdoor activities, with many hiking trails in the surrounding hills and mountains. As we didn't have time for hiking, we drove back to our apartment and went for dinner. What have you got?
Why no extra virgin to olive fat?
Different meats?
I have the carne. I have the tuna with the veal. Hello, lemon jelly.
Morning. Just got up in our most beautiful B&B we've ever been to. I did 30 push-ups, had a shower, and now it's time for breakfast. There are few things better in life than eating breakfast outdoors in Italy. Very traditional Italian breakfast. Pastries, cakes, Nutella, fruits, homemade cakes like this, and coffee of course. Cheers.
Where are we, baby? Tell us a story. Tell us the story of Cinque Terre. A decade you have waited to return to this city.
I was indeed once before in Cinque Terre, and I was equally overwhelmed by its beauty. Cinque Terre means 5 lands in Italian, referring to the 5 small towns that are perched on the rugged cliffs overlooking the Ligurian Sea. Those towns are Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza Corniglia, Rio Maggiore, and Manarola, where we were. They are all known for their colorful houses, narrow streets, and stunning views of the sea. Visitors to Cinque Terre can enjoy swimming and sunbathing on the small beaches and rocky coves, as well as sampling the region's famous seafood dishes and local wines. We were lucky enough to find an empty seat in one of the restaurants.
Would you like it?
Delicious. Yeah.
After our amazing meal, it was time to move to the next stop of our road trip, a place near Florence. So we are now in Florence. We're staying in a little town of Sant'Elero, and we've rented out a place in the middle of nowhere actually. But it's absolutely beautiful. Just gonna make some eggs for breakfast, and luckily they've got the mocha, so we can make a proper coffee. We finally found a place that has eggs. While I was making some eggs, I was contemplating on how much we have seen in just 3 days. Our schedule was tight, and suddenly this time we couldn't see Florence. So after we fed ourselves and a local cat, we were going to Rome with a short stop in Perugia. We're leaving Sant'Elermo after our very short visit, heading towards Rome. As we didn't take any footage in Perugia, we'll see you in the next video. Not a bad view in this Perugia place.